Brad, Amir Johnson hadn't been real productive the last few games. What was the difference in him tonight, you think?
Well, you could see it in our shoot-around. I mean, he was going 100 miles an hour in our 4:15 shoot-around. So you could tell that he was really locked in and engaged. But you'd have to ask him. I mean, he was great the whole night on both ends.
Just what have you thought of him this season?
Well, I think he's just getting used to us. The biggest thing is that he's figuring out kind of how we want to play, how to play off of each other. Our lineups have changed because of injuries, and that's a unique challenge for a guy like that who's also just trying to figure it all out. But defensively, he gives us a presence in the paint that showed itself true on multiple occasions today, and I thought he was just really locked in, and his stats would suggest that.
Brad, what did you see with the shot clock run down when you called that timeout with 9 seconds left, and then what did you think of the way the guys kind of closed it out?
Just wanted to get Isaiah back in. The execution down the stretch was as good as we've had. Thought it was really good. I felt, we met as a staff at halftime, and I don't know what the score was, 43-all or something like that, and I just felt like we were getting great shots. And I thought the best way that we could talk about it was what we talked about earlier in the day was we weren't giving up transition baskets, and we were doing a good job on the glass. Like, we were really locked in. We just weren't making anything. And then we went on that stretch where we made some shots, and I didn't think they were any better than the shots we missed in the first half. They just went in.
Coach, Jared Sullinger, third straight game, he's had a double-double for you. What's been the key to him just being as consistent as he has been, both scoring and rebounding the ball for you?
Yeah, I think he's just got a really consistent approach right now. I think his mindset's in a really good place. There's a lot of little things that you kind of see day to day that you feel really good about where he's headed. It's not a surprise. I mean, he's a good player, and he's a great rebounder, and he just continues to figure out what his strengths are against each guy, because each guy presents a different challenge depending on who he's being guarded by.
And this Atlanta Hawks team, one of the better three-point shooting teams in the league, you guys held them, I think, around 30%, maybe below that. What was the key for you guys really not allowing that shot to be a major factor in this game?
Well, just as few attempts as possible. I mean, they only shot 20 shots. I don't know how many threes they average. I know that they're a lethal three-point shooting team, and I thought we did as good of a job on Korver as possible to only give him 5 threes. And, he still hits 3 of them. I mean, he's an incredible shooter when you think about that, because he had people, basically right next to him the whole night. And the 5 times that he has an inkling of an opening, he makes 3 of them. It's pretty incredible.
Brad, you guys dominated on the offensive glass. So what impact did that have on the game?
Well, I think number one is they are their bigs are really good rebounders, but they're generally a smaller team, and their rebounding numbers would suggest that it's a game where we have to be able to rebound well to win. That being said, I thought we got inside position, and a couple of our offensive rebounds, the balls that we kept alive, that we got some side outs, some out of bound unders on late, were huge.
And how have you been able to improve in that department overall this season? Because you guys are 6th in the league.
Well, we've now had 1 game in a row where we've rebounded well. So we'll see.
On the offensive glass, though, I mean, you guys.
I think offensively, it's just about who's in the game. I mean, I think Sully's a great rebounder, and I think David Lee's a really good offensive rebounder, and just those guys are going to get offensive rebounds because they go hard. And Jonas had a couple of big plays and tip outs. Jay had a couple of big tip outs, and so that was good. I mean, we had to play really well to win, which was very concerning the way we were scoring in the first half, but we played really well in every other area, and then when we started scoring, it was good. That was a good game for our team.
You were talking about the missed shots earlier. Did the effort plays kind of keep you guys in this thing?
Yeah, I mean, I just and I think it goes, it started with Amir. I think that was really obvious, and you could see it just kind of up front. You can tell Marcus is still getting his legs and everything back underneath him, and that may take some time. But I thought that the whole night, went to the bench, everything else, guys played pretty hard.
I'm sorry, Evan 0 for 9, and you're still going with him because of what
this is how dumb I am. I didn't even know he was 0 for 9. I didn't care. Like, that guy in the fourth quarter doesn't matter. I mean, he's got a different. I just believe in him when it's all on the line. And you know, he had Teague on him the one time, and so we posted him. So that's a little different. But you know, he's made big shots his whole career.
Yeah, Coach, you know, 1 of 82, and it's early. But this is a good team. How important to win?
1 of 82 is the right way to put it. I mean, I think it depends on if you can continue to build and grow. This is a really tough stretch that we're in the middle of. Really, the whole start of the season, when you looked at our schedule, you knew that there were a lot of good teams on this schedule, and you just you try to get as many of them as you can, and they're all hard to get. Winning a game's hard.
Coach, you guys were able to limit Jeff Teague a lot tonight from going inside the paint. Explain to us what was the game plan in terms of limiting his drives to the hoop?
Well, we're just trying to be as good in our pick and roll coverages as possible. I said before the game, if we can get our defense set and make people play in the half court, we're going to give up some stuff, but we'll do everything we can to be as hard to play against as possible, and we'll be active. So I thought the guys did a pretty good job on it. I thought Isaiah did a really good job at the point of attack, directing the ball all night. And, you know, Teague, I do wonder if Teague's, when he twisted his ankle at the halftime, if that, you know, kind of that hindered him in the second half some, but Schroeder's a blur too. So those guys are hard to keep in front for 48 minutes.
Coach, you got Tyler Zeller in the game there for a few minutes, and it seems that he, you know, made an impact pretty quickly. Was there something you saw leading up to this game that made you feel this was a good night to dust him off, get him back in there?
Yeah, Tyler's a really good player, and we're just, you know, we got a lot of bigs. I don't know how else to say it. And we haven't shot it great, so you want to play some guys that can stretch the floor and be guarded when the floor is stretched, and that leaves at least one person out. And, you know, I don't know that it'll always be Tyler. In fact, I see him playing a huge role for our team, and he knows that. But it, nonetheless, is really hard to deal with. But, you know, we've won 3 of the last 4 games, and he hasn't played as much, but he'll help us win 3 or 4 at some other stretch, and he'll play a lot. And that's just part of what we talked about at the beginning of the year. I mean, it's not real until somebody has to do it, and then it's how they handle it. And he's handled it really like a first-class team guy.
Coach, you talked about Isaiah. Obviously, the scoring was there again tonight, but 10 assists. I think it was a team high. How have you seen him kind of distribute the ball this season?
You know, I just think he studies the game. I mean, we sat down yesterday for a long time, or for a little bit of time, and he had already watched all his clips and watched the game. And you know, that's I don't think that's unusual. I think a lot of guys do that, but I think he really delves into it. And, you know, he made a really good pass to Amir in maybe the first or second play, and then was a little bit late on delivering it to him in the second. And he came over and he just said, got to get it to him quicker. Like he's studying the game and thinking the game, and that's good. I mean, we need him to spray the ball around as much as we need him to score it.